Hello, welcome to my live show. It's kind of dark, right? What's going on? Let me see if this will help. Can't do that. Welcome to my live show. My name is Sugar, and today's topic: the side piece or your mate. What shall you do? What should you do in that? So, tell you a little story, and then you can tell me what do you think. Well, I know someone who is married, but her husband was on hiatus. He went somewhere, if you know what I'm saying. And he disappeared for a long time, not really letting his wife know what's going on. And eventually, after a couple of years, she started living her own life. So when she started living her own life, let me put this down a little bit. When she started living her own life, she met someone. She met someone, and after a while, she fell in love with the guy. She figured it's been all these years. I haven't seen or heard from my husband. Here it is, a guy I'm with, and she started having a relationship with this guy, a nice guy. Then, the relationship progressed and everything, and they became very serious. And they started caring for each other. Then, a few years later, the husband shows up. Now, mind you, she was still in love with her husband, and but he didn't tell her what was going on in his life. So she just went on with her life as regular as can be. So here, after over 10 years or so, he pops up. What would you do? Would you go back to your husband? Or would you stay with your man, who's now considered the side piece? Who would you stay with? You love both of them. You just didn't understand why he left or whatever, Then later on, he explained to you why he left, and then he said, okay, that sounds like a logical answer. But she's still in love. She loves the side piece now. You understand? They have a good relationship. He treats her good. And even though it didn't start off good, but he eventually started treating her good and everything. And the husband shows up. So now he wants to make a decision. He wants her to make a decision. So she told him she's not leaving the guy. She told him that. She said, you have to accept him into our lives. Yep, that's what she told her husband. She said that if you want to continue to be with me, you have to accept him. Now, the other guy, on the other hand, he wasn't down for it. Neither one of the men was down for that, to be honest with you. Neither one of the men wanted to share her. But many a day, I know a lot of my friends come to the crossroads where she had to share her man with another woman. She had to consciously share her man because she loves her man. And she digged into herself and she said, well, maybe I am doing some fucked up shit that did it. I'm not saying this is in all instances. Maybe I was doing some fucked up shit that, made him go to that other woman, but he's willing to work it out and I'm willing to be patient. And in the meantime, I let him have his side piece. A lot of women I know from since I was young were sharing a man consciously. They knew that their man had another woman. They didn't tell the family or the friends, but they knew. And they kept it between them and their husband or their boyfriends. As long as you don't come around me and disrespect and blah, blah, blah. So they make that sort of agreement. You understand? Ergo, Wendy Williams. Because that's the kind of agreement she had with her husband. So, yeah, she told him that, okay, I'm busy, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So I'm going to, you can have your other woman as long as you don't get her pregnant. But he got her pregnant. Because let me tell you something. Women are so devious. Women are so devious. And she went out there to cause Wendy problems. You understand? So anyway, now she's getting what she thinks because now, he can't take care of her. But anyway, so she told her husband, you want me? You're going to have to share me. I'm not giving him up. He said he's not giving me up. He don't want to share me. You don't want to share me, but I have to, you both have to share. So now, as far as the living arrangements, that hasn't been decided yet. So anyway, well, I'm just joking. So anyway, I guess the husband sat down and thought about it, that he loves his wife very much. So he came up with a plan. He said, okay, you can have your side piece as long as I can have one. And she said, fine. As long as she knows she's a side piece. As long as she knows I'm number one. And he agreed to that. You understand? So now they're in a committed relationship. And they have two separate relationships with two separate people. But they finally come together as husband and wife. Finally. So, what do you think about that? Do you as a man, or can you as a man, share your wife? You love her to death, you don't want to lose her, but you know that you're lacking in certain areas. You understand? You're hardly ever home, or you're busy or whatever. Because it's a catch-22 with the men. We want y'all home, but we want y'all working. And depending on the job, it's a hard call. Because a lot of women degrade men when they're not working. But when you're working, and if it's a thing job, that woman gets lonely. Because it's a steady loneliness. It's like, am I really married? My husband is barely home. Yeah, he makes good money, but is it worth us not being together? Are we really having a relationship? Because when he comes home, he's tired. And of course, he wants a home cooked meal, and things just get repetitive. He comes home, she cooks, they talk, if even, or he sleeps all day because he got to go back to work in 2 days or so. And they barely see each other. They love each other, but they barely see each other. So what is going to happen to her? She loves her husband. She don't want to leave him. He's making money, good money at that. but she gets lonely. And the kids don't feel those lonely days and lonely nights because you want to be eventually be with adults. You don't constantly want to be with your kids. Because sometimes when you're with your kids all the time, you just feel like your life is going, passing you by. You're not living your life. You have to live your life. In order for relationships to be happy, I know a lot of people are going to say it's selfish, but you have to be happy as a couple. Because the kids are happy because you're a couple. And in order for everybody to be happy, you have to maintain that relationship. And your mate has to come first, and the children is secondary. So now you have to find things that would make that relationship blossom. You understand? You have to make that relationship blossom. You have to make that relationship grow. You have to keep dating each other. Yeah, I know that you're tired when you come home, but you got to make some time for me. You got to, romance me. You got to, rub my back or something that person likes. Because coming home and sleeping a whole bunch of time and then you're in the house and then, maybe that day she don't, I don't, she don't feel like cooking or whatever the case may be, it's going to be an argument or whatever. It's because what about her? She's taking care of you. She's taking care of the kids. What about her? What are you going to do to make her feel good? It's not always about you. A relationship needs both people in the relationship to feel good. And the kids are always good if mommy and daddy's happy. But you can't always put the kids in front of your mate, because if that happens, then the relationship break up. And then the kid's going to be miserable and you're going to be miserable. So you got to always maintain your relationship with each other for the whole family to be happy. You're not trying to get Parent of the Year award or anything like that, because that's people on the outside. So all this internet stuff about the perfect family, and you see people happy and they flashing their cash and they homes and they cars and stuff. When that camera go off, they holding their head. How am I going to afford this? How am I going to afford all this stuff I just flashed on Instagram? Or flashed on YouTube or something? How are you going to support all that? How are you going to, afford it? You're not. You're living in a dream. You want your, I be seeing, guys sending flowers and doing this and doing that just for the gram. They doing all that stuff for the gram, and so she can brag to her girls, yeah, my man did this and my man did that. And when the cameras go off, they arguing. Y'all too much in the gram. For real. Y'all not too much. Just like these people who want this big ass wedding and can't afford it. And then when the wedding is over, they be like, I owe this person, that person. You go into hock to have this elaborate wedding. For what? To feed people who is going to talk about everything that you chose. Everything. The dress, the food, the table setting, who they sitting by, the venue. You put on this elaborate show for what? And when the wedding is finished, you're broke. You owe everybody, and you don't have anywhere to live. Just like with Trinities. Let me tell you, when Carnival come around, a lot of these single Trinities and stuff, who's living paycheck to paycheck, they spend their rent money to go to Trinidad. That's Trini thing. I don't know about Jamaica and all of that. But Trini, they got to get their Carnival. So a lot of these single Trinities, they ain't paying their rent for 2 months because they got to go to Trinidad for Carnival. And then when they come back, they trying to figure out how they're going to pay their rent. You understand? It's a Trini thing. Y'all not going to understand. You understand? So instead of paying down on a ticket little by little each month, they wait till the last minute. It's crazy. But anyway, back to my topic, relationship. So anyway, he came back and she asked him, so what would you do? Would you share your woman? Because you guys are always wanting us to share you. I know lots of women who share their men to keep the peace or to keep their man or whatever the case may be. So would you share your woman? For the sake of just keeping her? I never thought that when I was younger. I was always a monogamous kind of person. I dealt with one person at a time. That was just me. I would see other people flipping and flopping and doing this hiding stuff and going through the rigmaroles of the cheating spouse. I'm the one that's always been cheated on. I never cheated on anybody that I've dated, married to, or whatever. Never. Because I said if I'm going to take the time to cheat you, I'm just cheat on you. I'm just going to leave you. But when I leave you, I leave you. I don't turn back. That's one thing about me. When I leave you, I leave you because I already gave you enough chances to fix what I told you that's the problem in our relationship. You understand? And you didn't appreciate, and if you see me on the street one day and you want to rekindle, there's no rekindling. There's no rekindling. I barely remember some of my ex's last name. For real. And sometimes I do that. I think I did that on purpose because, on those lonely nights, or you remember when he was nice, or you remember you walked past something. I wonder how so and so is doing. Then you look through the phone book, and you say, "Oh, what's up? Just was thinking about you. How you doing? How's your girl?" Da, 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 da. Reminiscing on some bullshit. Meanwhile, when y'all was together, that person didn't appreciate you, or vice versa. Why would I want to look you up, and why would I, want you back when you treated me bad, or whatever? If we just broke up, in some instances, we just felt, grew apart. But why would I want to call back the misery in my life? Why? Because you're lonely, you can't find a partner right away, or whatever the case. No, that's not a good idea. I throw away numbers, I rip up numbers, and that's that. You don't want me, that's fine. I'm not for everybody. I'm really not. I've gained weight or whatever, and I'm not appealing to a lot of people. You understand? I'm just not for you. And then you want to tell me what your friends say about me, and you only go by what your friends think about me and whatever. I'm not for you. If you can't understand why I'm the way I am, or what I'm going through, you understand? And you only rely on your friends giving me the okay, I'm not the one for you. Because in this atmosphere, like right now, with all the haters that I have, simple things like going to the dentist, or um, going to my doctor's appointments is very hard, because they call their friends who work in the hospital and tell them dead me on my appointments. My dentist, same thing. So I tried to do the in-home thing because I love a man with nice teeth. So I had beautiful teeth, but since the accident, I haven't been to the dentist. So I'm like doing home care now. So I'm trying to get back in the swing and having my regular appointments. Because um before that, I had my dentist appointment every 6 months. Why waste my insurance? I used my insurance, but since the accident, because I had an accident with two of my legs being broken. And I haven't had the chance to do the lady things that most women have to do. And when I try, I have the haters that's blocking me. Simple things. Simple fucking things that these miserable women, because they want to have something to say. Or why she look like that? Yeah, because you always in my business. So when you know I'm going to the doctor, you call your friend in the hospital and tell them, the last time I was supposed to go to the doctor, I'm in the cab. I'm in the cab. They see me go in the cab. They called whoever and they canceled the appointment while I'm in the cab. Now, Uber is not cheap. You still got to pay for the ride because you got in the car. They had a little chuckle about that. But I'm just telling the public, this is what I'm going through. It's not like I pick up myself every day and can go do normal things. No. There's some crazy people out there. And before I end up in jail, I got to think twice about doing anything to anyone, because they do shit to me because they want a reaction. They do some crazy shit. And the 69th precinct is helping them do it. You understand? So, the Indian in 69th precinct and the Spanish in 69th precinct and 70th precinct have put word out not to do anything for me. So they're harassing me and they're harassing my son. So any little thing that I want to do, they're trying to cock block me because I'm in this lawsuit. So they're trying to make me lose my lawsuit. They're trying to say, oh, she doesn't go to doctor because she don't need to go to doctor. Meanwhile, you telling the nurses and you telling the receptionist not to give me an appointment or not to do this or not to do that. And then you want to talk to everybody that I talk to on the phone. Even though they tried to get warrants and stuff like that, they couldn't. They still doing it on the side. So anyway, simple things like that. So I called one of those agencies where they send you the stuff at home, and you put it, you thin your teeth, your mold, and you send it back. They tracked my thing, and they opened the package and messed up the package. So the company said, well, the mold wasn't really a good mold, whatever. So, then I called the insurance company to ask them if I can get, a referral so I can get the mold company to pay for it, whatever. So the insurance company told me something different. So little things. So I just want a lot of people to see why I'm not. Plus, I'm not really going anywhere. I'm in my house. I know I should look, I'm trying to look as thing decent possible. Like my hair. My hair's supposed to be bald. I can't get the cream. I can't get whatever that I need. So I just shaved it, but it's still some hair on my head. I'm not really a makeup wearer, slightly, but not. So I use my own makeup, just enough to, fill in the flaws in light makeup. I'm not a heavy makeup kind of person. And the other day I saw this guy, he was doing eyebrows on the internet. So I wrote him, I said, when you're in New York, let me know that you're going to be in New York so you can do my eyebrows. Because I don't let nobody touch my eyebrows. But I watched it and he was pretty good. Next thing I know, they contacting the guy. For what? For what? What do you contact? So I can't. What exactly do they want? And I say all this to say they're harassing my boyfriend. They're harassing my boyfriend not to be my boyfriend anymore. They ran after him. They want to accuse him of this. They told him if he comes around here. So they clocking my pussy. They clocking my pussy. They trying to refrain my sex life. Where's my husband? He's traveling. That's why he's never around. You understand? My husband's never around, but he doesn't want to divorce me. So now they trying to, not trying, they cock blocking me and my boyfriend from seeing each other. So every time he try to see me, they want to pent up some charge on him. They're cops, so what do you think they're gonna do? And at first I'm like, oh no, they can't do that. Yeah, they did it. They had one of their friends accused him of something. So the plot thickens. So that's why I don't be having anybody, because I have a husband and I have a boyfriend, but the cops are after my boyfriend. And they charging him with whatever every time he try to come see me. You understand? And then when he wasn't listening, they was trying to go after his family. Yeah, because they think this is slavery time. So that's why I was like saying I can't believe this is all prejudice. So that's why I was speaking to some people, and I'm doing what I'm doing. You're going to block me, I'm going to block your whole country. Because somebody is sending them. This can't be just about some argument I had with your brother-in-law. This can't be. It's bigger than that. Gotta be. So they cock block me, I'm gonna ruin their financial life too. I don't know about their personal, because they wives and girlfriends are in on it. So you understand. But whoever sent you is gonna suffer. So it's not that I chose my boyfriend. It's just that my husband's always working. Or, and when he tries to come here, they got all these people watching, because the persons that I had a problem with is across the street. So I guess they want to show me that they control me. But the brass and NYPD don't want to listen. So I'm going above and get any resources that can help me. And so far, it's been helping. So far, my little contacts that I'm making is been helping me. So sooner or later, me and my boyfriend's going to be together, or my husband. And y'all going to be broke and out of work. So I don't know what a lot of people would do in that case. Stay with your husband, share your husband. I mean, stay with your wife, share your wife, or whatever. But that's how it goes. But like on the side note, I was trying to say, they do things to you, then they want to send you little notes. Why you look like that? Why you? Yeah, because you in my pussy, bitch. Anything I go out there and try to get, you in my cunt, because you are one. You have no fucking life. Everybody that comes to that door, somebody around here gets to know and act friendly. And these people, I tell them before they come, like, don't pay no attention to nobody come up to you. So one of my friends told me that because he was coming to fix my something on in my house or something, and he said one of the neighbors came up to him at the corner. She didn't tell him that she lived on the block, and tried to pick him up. So when that didn't work, she told the police that he's my friend, and the police went after him. But we wasn't romantic. He was just a carpenter that comes fix stuff in my house. Yeah, every person that comes to that door, she's either fucking, you understand, or one of them is friends with. So it's not so easy for me to go out, get my makeup, get my hair cuts. You know, I have lots of clothes, but wearing it to where? Where am I going to wear it to? I don't really go anywhere. I dropped on my family. You understand? Most places I would go is to go shopping for food or something for the house or whatever, jump in my car and go whatever. So now all that is depleted. But I had a relationship, but now they don't even want me to have that. So so they think they winning or something. And the same thing they do to me is going to be done to them. Point blank. Whatever they do to me is going to be done to them. You're not no better than me because you lighter skin, got straight hair, straight nose, or whatever, or you got a badge. Sorry. You want to ruin my relationship? You want to tell my son don't come see me? Now you can't see your kids. Now you and your woman broke up. So it's tit for tat. So in the case of the relationships, you know, if your husband keeps up the same um schedule, both of you have to come to some kind of terms of how to make the relationship work. You know, when he's coming home, you plan something. When he's coming home, he can't sleep all the time. He has to make time for you because women needs attention. I don't know if you men know that. We thrive on our men's attention. Most of us, anyway. I like a guy to do him. I don't like no guy all under me like that. I think I'm a little bit too trusting. I let men do men because I'm a firm believer of letting a person be a person because they're going to be what they want to be behind your back. So why not know what they're doing? And if you agree with it, you stay. If not, So I don't push a man to do anything or um introduce me to anybody. First of all, I don't like meeting men's family. First of all, I don't. I'm not insecure to feel just because he hasn't introduced me to his mom. That's his mom. His mom is going to lie for him, or his mom is going to whatever. That's his mom. Most moms, anyway. I'm a little different, but most moms, especially they boys. Oh my God, I don't know if you know moms and they boys. It's a special attachment. I don't know what it is, but moms and they boys, they close to their girls, but they boy child. Oh my God. You understand? And that's his mom. So you think you're gonna go over there and fool her and get into her good graces? She's looking at you like, are you good enough for my son? That's what the mom is saying. She thinks she's gonna come up in here and, you know, take me over and woo me. No. She's like, nope, that's my son. My son comes first. That's how mom is with their boy kids, their boy children. Yeah, so I'm like, okay, I'll just skip the middleman, which is the mom, and I don't want to meet none of the sisters. You understand? So I'm not the one who wants to meet the family. I know it's strange, but I'm having a relationship with him. It so happened that there's a function and y'all there, sure. But to go out my way to meet y'all, that ain't happening. That ain't happening. No. I mean, when I meet them, I'm cordial and nice or whatever the case may be. But I'm like, that's his family. His family's gonna have his back with all his bullshit he doing. So why get friendly with people who's gonna lie for him? Or keep his secrets or let him do dirty, and no, I don't need that. So, if so happen we get along when we meet, fine. But I'm not the girl. Why you ain't introduced me to your mom yet and your family? That's being insecure. That's being insecure. You gotta be secure with your relationship. To hell with the family. You gotta secure your relationship. You gotta see if you and him vibe. 3 months, everybody's vibing. You like bunny rabbits in 3 months. You understand? Or after 3 months, bunny rabbits. Everything is lovely for the first 6 months. Between 6 months and a year, they start relaxing. You start seeing the habits. You understand? You watching, but you ain't watching. Well, I'm watching, but I ain't watching. Because I don't care what a man spend on me. I care how a man treat me. That tells the story. Anybody can buy flowers and candy. It's how he treat me. That's what I'm looking at. Me, I like the simple things. Like when he see that I like something and he's coming over, he would bring it. I'm not talking about big things. I'm talking about I like coffee. And he stopped by Dunkin' Donuts or something, or he drove past a Starbucks. Yeah, I got a dozen and a half coffees up in here, but once in a while you want something on the outside. Let me get a frappuccino for my girl. You understand? Shit like that. Babe, I'm at Starbucks. You want anything with it? Oh, you don't have to bring it to me. You understand? Stuff like that. Or he don't even call you. He pops up and he say, hey, I bought this for you. And you and your girl on the phone, you're like, what he bought you? Oh, he bought me some coffee. To her, coffee? That cheap ass nigga bring you coffee? Girl, you need to drop that, son. I'm like, okay, coffee's not important to you. The little things in life is not important to you now. You understand? Later on, those little things is going to mean a lot to you. It's going to mean a lot to you. That means he's paying attention to what you're saying. That means he cares enough to stop. I mean, he's on the highway, he's driving, or he's on the street somewhere. No parking, nothing. Boom, he stops. Run into the Starbucks to buy you coffee. To me, that's a great thing. Or stop at the Chinese store and buy you some chicken wings or something. Whatever he knows you like, maybe a Snicker bar or something. And buy something. But for somebody to just pick up flowers and candy, regular old chocolates, you bring me a Snicker bar and Kit Kat. I know you're thinking about me, but you bring me some regular kisses and all that. I don't eat that. I mean, I do, but it's not a regular thing. I like, certain kind of chocolates. And if he brings it, then I know he listens to me, number one, and he's starting to really care. All that fine wine, fine dining, and fancy clothes, and yeah, I'm sure it's nice. But it's the little things. I think in the early stages of a relationship, a woman should not expect too much. I always tell my son, I'll tell you what I tell my son. Start her off low, then build her up. Take I should say Burger King because this guy asked me out a long time ago. Take her to Burger King, McDonald's, Kentucky. Then you take her to IHOPs. That's a thing in the hood, the IHOPs. That's stepping your game up. Take your girl to IHOP. Even with me, yeah. But then you work your way up the ladder. But if you take her to Mr. Chang's on a first date, where do you go from Mr. Chang's? Nothing but down. You understand? That's what I tell my son. I'm like, don't spoil at the beginning. I'm like, whatever chick you meet, don't spoil her. You build her up. Because every time you build her up, she's like, oh, my baby, his choice is getting better. She feels good. Her man is moving on up. But when you put her here, and then you're like, yo, babe, I can't afford Chang's this week. Can we go to, what's the next spot after Chang's? Whatever's under Chang's, and then the next week you're going this way, and everything keep going this way, and on birthdays it's back to Mr. Chang. No. The girl be like, he's fucking cheap. He got some bitch. He probably spending his money. Then problems. She start thinking. You understand? That you're spending your money on some other chick. You understand? So I told my son, whenever you meet some girls, don't do that. That's when he was single. But him and his girlfriends always on and off. I'd never know with them two. I just totally stay out of it. But yeah. When he was single and starting to date back, I'm like, don't be trying to prove nothing to these chicks out here. Build them up. I don't care what she looked like and who she is. As long as you're taking her somewhere, that's all should matter. I'm not saying take her to McDonald's, but I'm not saying take her to Chang's neither. You understand? Because some chicks don't understand that concept. So you stay in the middle. IHOP. For breakfast on Saturday, or Sunday. Have brunch, whatever. If you guys can't afford all those big time things you see on the gram, ask a girl out for breakfast, like on a Sunday or a Saturday. That's if she doesn't go to church and stuff. Yeah. And take her to a nice little breakfast spot, a nice little brunch. A nice little brunch spot. Brunch, all you fits in because it gives you a lot of good food that looks expensive, but it's cheap in any of these restaurants. So a nice brunch when you want to go on a date, pick a nice restaurant. Pick a like a local restaurant that serves brunch. It's going to be crowded. People's going to be nice, but the food is going to be great. Brunch will keep you safe. So all this breakfast and dinner stuff, in the beginning, nah. If you light on the pockets. Do a brunch. And, check the place out. Ask a friend, do you know any nice spots that serve good breakfast? And whatever. And you take that person there. If you can't afford dinner. Or you can't afford breakfast. Brunch is something in the middle. Steak and eggs. There go dinner, there go breakfast. Right in the middle. Chicken and waffles. things like that. Brunch is in the middle of dinner and breakfast, and it's always cheap. Well, reasonably priced. Anyway, so that's a dating tip for you people. So if you're in the same dilemma and you love both the side piece and the husband, and you're a woman, let your husband know. Be real with him. If he's asking or whatever the case may be. So as the man, and as the woman who had to make a decision, let the man make the decision. Why do women always have to choose for her husband? She allows him to keep both her and the other girl. So now it's the man's turn. Now it's the man's turn to share. Because he's going to say he's not sharing, but he's going to say, oh, well, it's my job and I have to be around a lot of women and I got to flirt, which I do understand because as a man, in certain atmosphere, you do have to flirt or whatever the case may be. But sometimes they take it a step above that. Because like I said, I'm not a jealous woman. So people don't understand. How you let your man run free like that? It's up to him if he wants me. Because he fucks up. That's it. There's no I'm sorry. There's no no, we had a conversation. You said so and so, and you're not living by it. So, you want to be happy because I want to be happy and I want you to be happy. It's no hate. I'm not the one that's making you happy. You just have to think logical. I mean, yeah, it hurt because you really love him. But if he still want to run the street and want to keep telling you, well, my friends say and my friends this, and you rely on your friends to like me, fuck you. If you as a man know I'm a good person or know that person is a good person, you want to constantly talk about what your friends think about me or her, I don't need you in my life. Because your friends are happy in their relationship. You know why you picked me, but if your friends don't understand, why do you care? Why do you care what your friends think about me or her? You understand? Why do you care? She's the one that makes you happy. Because my son's friends does that. My friends tell my son he met this girl, very nice girl, but she has a son. And my son grew up with these guys a long time, but these guys always underlying hate. You understand? Because my son grew up with us, I gave my son everything. I spoiled him. So he met a girl. One of his friends started talking to the girl when they had a little argument. His friend. So years later, he met this other girl, and she has a son, like I said. And very beautiful young lady. And they telling him, oh, if I was you, I wouldn't date nobody with no kid and blah, blah, blah. I want a woman who have only my kid because her ex can run up in her all the time and tell my son all this nonsense. Meanwhile, his mom was, single for a while. You understand? So I'm like, single women need love too. You understand? I'm like, your friends are just mad that you found somebody to make you happy. They don't want you to be happy. They want you to be home lonely and by yourself. They happy in those times. They very happy when he's by himself or they hear that him and this girl's having an argument. They happy. But meanwhile, You know, they got their wives, they got their girlfriends, they got their kids, they got everything. But yet still, even after 8 years of him and this girl being together, they still trying to veer him away from her. He denies it, but I see it as a mother. I see it as a mother. They don't want him to be happy. You understand? They don't. I'm like, don't listen to your friends. They don't want you to be happy. They trying to find a reason for you not to be happy with her. If they don't want to date somebody with a child, let them not date somebody with a child. You understand? But she is a real great person. That's what I told him as a mother. Because I know it's pure jealousy. They always think that my son have it easy because his mom gave him everything, you know, for his car, for his apartment, everything. I paid for all that. So they always think he got it easy. But meanwhile, their mother threw them out, or they had to go fend for themselves, live by their girl for a couple of years, and then get married, forced into the marriage. You understand? Live paycheck to paycheck. You know, they did all that through the mom and the girlfriends. But with him, he got his own apartment. He was the only one that had his own apartment out of all his friends. All his friends live with their parents or in the basement or with their girl. He's the only one that she had an apartment and he had an apartment. You understand? And still do. You know? So his decision was he's going to make himself happy. Until, you know, the cops started threatening her son. Yeah, I'm back and forth on topics. I had to put that to a stop real quick. They gonna deny it, but it's dumb. And he told me it's Spanish cops. Yep, he told me some Spanish cops is harassing him. And they keep telling him not to tell his mother. Because God knows when I do find out who they are, it's going to be some problems. But his decision in his relationship is to stay with his girlfriend. And my decision for my relationship is to stay with my side piece. Because, like, you know, and when my husband's home, I stay with my husband. You're never home. Women needs attention. So we came to that conclusion. And as long as there's no disrespect going on, that's the decision. In my girlfriend's relationship and in my relationship. So there's a win-win situation. And as far as my son, I don't allow my son to cheat. Or if he is, he don't tell me about it. Because, you know, it's a new thing for me. So when I was raising him, I'm like, no, tell the girl the truth. That you're seeing somebody else and you're not ready to settle down. And, you know, she can date people and you can date people. But don't lie to her and say you're my only one, and then you go out there and you mess around. No, you're wasting her time. That's how I brought up my son, to be very upfront. Whether she can take it or not is up to her. But I always tell him, be upfront. Be honest. I'm not ready to settle down. You know, you date and I'll date. But no, most guys want to date, but they don't want the prospect to be dating. They don't want to hold you on the side until to see if anything better is out there. No, don't do that. Because sometimes you know the person is the one when you not initially meet them, but when you start talking to them, you be like, this is the one. Before, when I hear people getting married within weeks or months or whatever, I'm like, that's crazy. How you gonna know somebody in months? But I went through that. You understand? I went through that. So it can happen. And how you gonna love two people at the same time? See, I went through that. So it could happen. You know? So you can make that decision. So I'm gonna end it here right now. You know, it wasn't supposed to be a whole hour, but it was. People sending me messages. Click like, click share. Please become a subscriber. I'm trying to build up my support system. And if you need anything financial or whatever, and you need some advice on that, I also do that. I'm very good with money and money finances. And if the cops will leave me alone and stop stealing all my stuff that I want to sell, because every time they see me trying to sell stuff, they find out the vendors and they go bother the vendors. You understand? So, but if you see something that you like, and send me a picture and I'll get it for you. Or if you see something, because I haven't been posting anything, because every time I post something, they go bother the vendor. So now I'm like, okay, if people see anything that they want and they send me pictures, I'll go get it instead of me giving them all my ideas. Ergo, this financial thing, they trying real hard to find out how I'm making money for people, really hard, and they trying to find out where some of my secret vendors are, because after I find out what they doing, I stop thinking, showing them my vendors, about thinking the vendors. I do it on the sneaky tip or what have you. So I stopped giving them, and it's not just the cops. They get the idea and then they give it to their family so they won't be caught doing it. It's some of these celebrities. And for all you celebrities who have people stalking me and my family, please stop. Please stop. Because when the tables turn, you're not going to like it. You're not going to like it. Like, I had to tell Selena Johnson about herself this morning. And then I had to, yeah, because, things was happening on the show, and she got a whiff of it. Why? Because she has people stalking me. So when I'm talking to these people on the show in regards to changing and stuff like that, she got word that they talking without her. And she started snooping around Claudia Jordan's. She got somebody to download something on Claudia's computer and her phone, and Lisa Ray and Vivica. So she's stalking the other girls now. And she's stalking me. And just like Lauren, what's his Bezos' girlfriend? Yeah. She found out that I was trying to hook him up with somebody else because I thought they broke up. And she started going after the person. Tracy Ross. And instead of her being a woman and say, well, we're still together, whatever, she went threatening, because she thinks she's a mobster because she's with the richest man on the planet. But it's his money, Lauren. It's not yours. It's his money. So I know you think that, you've been with him for a long time. Everything's not a sure thing. You can leave your ass any minute now. Anyway, yeah, she's the one who keeps sending the cops. She's one of the ones that's sending these cops after me and the people around Hollywood and stuff like that. Because I know a lot of Hollywood people. I just don't really talk about it, but I just want you guys to be careful out there. So thanks for showing up And you have a nice day. Click like, click share. Tell everybody about my thing. Become a subscriber. I do thank you. Have a nice day. Joking. Choose it. What are you doing, Miss Girl? What? These men are going crazy. Lady.
Planted and so on. All of this goes into your body. Just like when you eat animals, all of the tension that is created inside these animals when they're about to be slaughtered, you internalize it when you eat it. So you have to think about the herbs in the same way. If you can't get the ganja, you have to go learn to meditate without it. And you have to go find some other herbs too, because we're not just promoting getting high, we're promoting wellness. And herb ganja is a thing that is good for your brain. Your brain has cannabinoid receptors. That means you are designed to use this thing to heal yourself. And you can get, you can get this from other things too, but do your investigation, do your research, and find out if it is really that important to you. So you have to look at, why am I using this herb? Am I a junkie? Am I addicted to this thing? Because we're not promoting addiction either. So unless I can get the best quality of food and anything to put into my body, it is not going into my body.
I'm sorry.
I understand that
Have a great day.
living in this kind of
Bye.
society, it's hard for a man to have